Instead of the usual fairy tales like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, the story that Dominic Seow and his wife like to tell their daughter Samara is one they made up.
Sometimes we do imaginary stories. So one of the most famous stories is about a little girl who's been adopted and came into Singapore from Malaysia. So in a very early stage of her life, she didn't really understand much. So when she got a little bit older, about 4 years old, then I broke news to her in a story that the girl is actually her. When that happens, then she realized that it's her that's been adopted. But the story was such a pleasant story that this girl basically had a very happy life, and the girl is very happy too. So it makes her understand that being adopted is not something bad. It's a new chapter for her.
Adopting Samara in 2006 was also a new phase in the couple's lives. They never intended to start a family, choosing instead to advance their careers. But after being together for more than 10 years, their plans changed.
After 12 years, I kind of thought it would be nice to have a little girl. At the same time, but there are a lot of children out there who needs a family. So we thought, I think adoption would be a very good, and because we like a little girl, so if I have to give birth, I may not get a girl.
Yeah, we have no choice.
Yes.
But with adoption, we have a choice of a
boy or a girl. It's up to you choose.
The adoption process wasn't an easy one. Dominic and Yvonne spent close to $30,000 for the adoption, legal, and medical fees. They also had to fill up detailed forms and go through several interviews before they were deemed eligible to adopt a child. But having already fallen in love with Samara at first sight, no task was too difficult for the Seows.
We actually went to see another child, but I think there's no connection. And then the lady decided to show us her picture. So we thought, okay, just have a look and see if the connection is there. So we arranged and we saw her, and she was talking to me, and she was talking to him. So it's like the child kind of chose us. And from day one, when we brought her home, everybody says she just looks like me.
When we go out as a family, when we just mention that Samara is actually adopted, no one will believe. They say it's so much like Yvonne,
Samara, now 7, was the 5th child of a Malaysian family. She was given up for adoption because her biological parents could not afford to bring up 5 children.
If someone would ask you, oh, you're different and you're adopted, and then what are you going to do? What are you going to say?
Not much people are adopted like me.
But Samara has not forgotten about her biological parents and hopes to meet them one day.
I was just asking her, so when you grow up, would you still want to live with me? Would you want to go back to your mother? She said, so she paused for a while. She said, not really. I said, why not? I still want to live with you, she said. But I like to see them. So
I'd like to visit them.
Yeah, I'd like to meet them.
To see how they live.
Yes.
So we can give them
your blessings.
Samara now celebrates 2 birthdays, the day she was born and the day she was adopted home. Under the care of the Seow family, Samara has grown to be an outspoken and enthusiastic little girl with a keen interest in acting and singing.